What makes this collection truly remarkable is that each piece was clearly acquired, not simply as a piece of adornment, but as a work of art.
We are always engaged in a battle, if you will, to make sure that jewelry is considered art. This collection, more than any I've ever seen, really establishes jewelry as an art form. Between the pieces by Jar and Suzanne Belperron, it kind of speaks for itself. When you're lucky enough to get a collection like this, and we actually get the pieces in hand, the challenge becomes, how are we going to tell the story?
How now are we going to put this into a sale? In what order are we going to sell them? What's the dialogue going to be between these pieces? Where are we going to take them to show them to clients? How are we going to present them in a way that's going to be both market forward but also respectful of some of these historic objects? It's a challenge that allows us to then present them in a way that is going to be compelling, exciting, and new.
This December, Sotheby's will be offering a spectacular collection called A Legacy of Elegance. It's a sale filled with nearly 60 pieces from French masters including Cartier, Van Cleef, Boucheron, Guava, and, most notably, Suzanne Belperron and Joel Arthur Rosenthal.
These are designers that were known for their design, for the artistic sensibilities of what they were doing. In a lot of ways, both Suzanne Belperron and Joel Arthur Rosenthal transcend jewelry. They are artists. They're artists in the same vein as Picasso or Warhol or Richter. The dialogue between Jar and Belperron is something that isn't necessarily one that you immediately think of. Suzanne Belperron, a French woman working from the 1930s into the 1970s, Joel Arthur Rosenthal will be working in Paris, an American working from the 70s into today. But when you dig a little more deeply, you start seeing these really interesting connections between the two.
Both designers were quite maverick in their thinking. Belperron was making pieces in the 1930s alongside great Art Deco pieces that were so rounded and soft and sculptural, using rock crystal and chalcedony and amethyst and unusual materials, while most other houses were still sort of in the Art Deco period doing lots of geometric forms, lots of platinum and diamonds. She was really creating something new. The same way I think Jar was drawing inspiration from the 19th century, but creating a new vision for jewelry in general, in the 80s especially, using the colored pave stones in almost a painterly way and blackening the metal for contrast on the color, and also using very unusual colored diamonds.
This collection has standout pieces from start to bottom. My personal favorite is probably the fan brooch by Belperron. And this is a motif that she used frequently. Rock crystal and diamonds. This one is just a little bit different. At the center of it is a large old mine diamond, and then along the tips of the fan, continue with more old mine diamonds. And so you have this motif that is immediately identifiable as by Belperron, but then you have this opulence of the diamonds that come with it.
There are a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't know about. It takes months to bring a sale like this to auction. We didn't want to miss any opportunity, not only, of course, to promote the collection, but to preserve it in a way, because these pieces are all going to go on to new homes, and this will be the last time it's seen as a collection, and that means something.
We were thinking about the actual storytelling of this auction. We wanted to first ground it in Paris. This is where Suzanne Belperron was creating. This is where Joel Arthur Rosenthal has been creating. It's where Cartier is headquartered. It's where Boucheron is headquartered. In a lot of ways, this is a collection. It's a love letter to Parisian jewelry.
We were very privileged to be lent a space in Paris, where we shot a wonderful set of images. We've done a number of campaign shoots over the years for different collections. I've never seen one come out not only so beautifully, but so beautifully in harmony with the collection. It really expresses what the collection is, how it should be seen, how it should be worn, and how it should be appreciated. We also did some great pictures here in New York City with a model and what we call enhancement photographs, as well as the standard regular sized photograph with the actual sized image that we put in the catalog, and really have just been trying to show the pieces in their best light and in every context. In terms of the traveling exhibition, we've been as aggressive as I've ever seen. We have not missed really a single city on our schedule. So the collection has been seen by clients in Paris first, in Los Angeles, in Geneva, of course, alongside the sales. I've sent it to Asia. It's been to Singapore, Taipei, Hong Kong. We really have given it the full complement of cities in order to make sure that all clients can see these things in person. Because when you're looking at a piece of jewelry like this, you have to hold it, you have to feel the weight, you have to look at the back of it. It's more than just about trying it on. It's really about experiencing it and seeing it close up in every detail.
When we have a collection this important, we really take care to make sure that every piece is meticulously researched. And we've made some great discoveries along the way. One of our colleagues in Geneva found the wonderful ruby and diamond clip brooch in a 1937 ad for Van Cleef & Arpels. Our jeweler was examining our ruby and diamond clip brooch and mentioned that the rubies were actually set in what is called the mystery setting technique. This is highly unusual because here we find cushion cuts as opposed to the calibre cut stones that are typically found in mystery set jewels.
We do, of course, work occasionally with external experts, particularly with a collection such as this. We feel very fortunate to have such a close relationship and to work closely with the House of Belperron and with the Landrigan family.
Let's look at this one.
Even when she moved to naturalistic themes, she made them stylized in a way that I find unique to her. You can recognize a piece of hers from across the room. There's no mistaking.
No mistaking it.
To still look modern today, I think is kind of an incredible achievement.
We're so lucky that Belperron is a living house and that we are able to study collections like this, to be able to inform ourselves and our craftsmen to be able to make the jewelry in the way that Suzanne Belperron intended. She famously didn't ever sign her work, which is frustrating from one perspective, but when you have an archive of 9,300 designs, it helps to identify her work and when it's authentic. But people asked her even then, why don't you sign your jewelry? Everybody else does it. And her answer was, my style is my signature.
It's crucial to put together a compelling aesthetic narrative for a collection such as this. And we decided to do something a little different this time. Traditionally, one would put all the Cartier in one section, all the Belperron in another section, and the Jarre in another.
Are we going to put all the Belperron together and all the Jarre together, almost like two separate sections, or are you going to mix it all up?
I think we have to have more of a dialogue between the two because they have so much in common, which I wouldn't have necessarily thought before, but now that we've seen everything, had it out on the table, I think it'd be fantastic.
It'd get a little chunky otherwise. Just have all the Belperron, all the Jarre, it'd be too dissonant.
You have to give a lot of consideration to things like the order in which you feature the pieces in the catalog, because that's the order in which they will be sold on the auction block, and there has to be kind of an ebb and a flow. You need a rhythm to an auction, and so that starts with the catalog. This was kind of a laborious process. It took a number of us a lot of time and a lot of effort to really put that puzzle together.
There truly isn't a false note in this entire collection.
This is one of the greatest auctions that I've had the pleasure of working with. This collection that really is encyclopedic of French jewelry of the 20th and 21st centuries.
I think it will probably live in my career as one of the top 3 or 4 collections that I've ever seen.